I'm Zach. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I figured out what I want to do with my life at a young age, around the age of 20. And this video is a part of a 30-day vlog series where I either make $1,000 for my dream job or I go back to a day job. I'm currently waiting on my friend slash boss, Jeff, to pick me up, and we're going to go out and talk to venues about gigs, as well as go back to his studio and finish mastering the album. But until then, I'm going to talk about how I figured out what I want to do with my life at a young age. So at the age of 20, I was working at a clothing store and I was getting dropped off at like 4 or 6 hours early, like super early to my shift. So I had a lot of time to sit around. And this was the time span whenever I vividly figured out what I was passionate about and what I wanted to dedicate my life to. But there were a lot of things leading up to that I think were heavy factors. For example, growing up here, I was sheltered or isolated, you could say a lot. Don't really see your neighbors here. And so I grew up having a lot of time to kind of figure myself out and introspect and self-analyze. So one of those factors leading up to that point where it was one of my first jobs and I had spare time before the job and I was dropped off, was I had time to really just analyze and figure myself out. I took the time to do that because I didn't find anything else that interesting to do by myself at a young age. But it took a while though, because my mind was diluted by caring what other people thought in like high school and cliques and not really chasing anything, just wasting time doing shenanigans and silly things. But at this age, and actually pretty much right out of high school, I was in a relationship and I lived with my fiance and her parents after two years of being with her, and then it didn't work out, and then I moved back in with my parents. But basically I didn't socialize much or have any friend groups, and even in high school, whenever I had those friend groups, I was here most of the time until I got a car in senior year. Or wait, no, I was like 16, 17, so I was sophomore and junior. But yeah, I spent a lot of time alone. Another reason why I figured out what I want to do with my life at a young age was in those moments I was bored a lot, and especially the moment of being dropped off like 4 or 6 hours early to work and sitting in a parking lot, like nowhere to go, just look into the sky, and I would listen to the songs I recorded on my phone, like horrible quality recording, but it was of the first songs I'd ever recorded and wrote and actually started diving into songwriting. And so in those moments I was really bored because I was listening to like 2 or 3 songs over and over and over again, and I was just like really thinking about everything. But it was beyond like thinking. I was like trying to figure out my fascination with it, and I was like, wait, is this music meaningful? And I was looking into the clouds every single morning just out of boredom, working on like writing songs in my notepad. And I found in the boredom came a lot of creativity and possibilities inside of my mind. It's like boredom gives the brain time to recover, and then you can work your brain out again after you're bored. It helps with clarity and creativity. And so that is another reason that I figured out what I want to do at a young age. And the third reason is I've always taken action and tried things out and like went head first with it. And so actually before I did music, I was really into video games, and I started like a whole clan and had like a ranking system and like our own sports and like ways to win like gift cards on Xbox, and we built maps and had battles. It was fun, and I completely like gave my life and time to that outside my day job. I was like obsessed. So I've always had some like project and before then, whenever I was like a child, because I had the clan whenever I was like 18 and 19. But I grew up playing video games, and I was always obsessed with some video game or and at one point MMA, but I still like learn and practice MMA, and I just enjoy the sport and like art of it, and it as a workout. But basically I try a bunch of things and I go head first, and the things I really love to do, I keep leaning into them, and I put more time to them simply because it's less friction. I love to do it, so it's easier for me to work on music and write and perform for hours and hours and hours because I love to do it. And even though I wasn't talented at all, and there were a lot of hurdles to go over, and a lot of things that made it uncomfortable that I didn't love, like my stage fright and social anxiety, trying a bunch of things and really figuring out what I would like to do, and always being open to trying something new, because I like a wide variety of human experience. So yeah, leave a comment down below. Have you figured out what you want to do with your life, or some hobby that's important to you? Because I don't necessarily know exactly where I'm going to be in like 50 years, although I do like strategizing and having like long-term plans. I do write a lot of stuff down, but I know things change and they adapt, and that's really the best way to grow, and it's always changing. So I don't always expect to necessarily reach my pipe dream, although I do shoot for the stars. Do you have any pipe dreams, or any dreams, or action, hobby, thing that you like to do? Leave a comment down below. I'm trying to make these videos longer than 15 minutes, but also mix up the topic, and I'm not sure how to keep this video going on much longer, but without changing the topic. So let me stand here for 5 minutes and brainstorm. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm waiting on Jeff. This is also a part of the 30-day vlog series where I either make $1,000 or go back to my day job. I'm waiting for Jeff, and he should be here any minute, and we're gonna go get some paid gigs, and at the very least finish the mastering of the album and create CD physical copies of the album. So that is exciting. Very excited for that. Anyway, thanks for watching. For the animals, woo!